Aloha. Aloha. 3 words. Body, speech, and mind in Hawaiian. Aloha. It means from my heart to your heart, good health. And Tashi Delay. Tashi Delay means, in Tibetan, is a greeting which means Tashi auspicious, delay, good fortune and good luck for you and everybody. And everybody includes all the animals, all the humans, and all the spirit. We present this class every Thursday night from 6 to 8 o'clock and record it on our website for people, larger brothers and sisters in other time zones. I'm Lama Tashi. Before we start the class tonight, I was asked a question that is actually what Buddha means, what the word Buddha means, literally. And the question was, why do we keep bringing up the removal of judgment in the mind with meditation and other practices? The answer to that is because when you are meditating and watching your thoughts, you'll have some thoughts that come up that are neutral, some that are nice, and some that are not so nice. But in meditation, you are not to block your thoughts. You are just to let them come up, present themselves, and disappear without judgment. That means no good, no bad, no superior, no inferior. And with the guidance of your Lama, you know why you're doing that. And the answer is, your thoughts control everything. Your thoughts are presenting your view of this universe and the beings in it. And when your thoughts arise, we all have a trigger. And I got this word trigger many different ways, but it's used in the news and it's used in dealing with diseases, especially now with the viruses. Trigger. We have evolved as human beings, grown and developed, with this trigger of judgment, and it is the basis of all religions, including some forms of Buddhism we call the Hinayana path of Buddhism. And the moment you judge, you are activating that habit. And you are activating the emotional response by doing that. And as long as you do that, have that judgment mind in place, because it's just your mind. The universe doesn't do this. There's no compassion. It cancels compassion and activates energies that are harmful, negative in your mind, and the mind controls the body and speech, so they come out through the body and speech. And one of the hardest things about this, harshest thing, is the judgment comes out in your speech. And you can catch yourself in conversations with others doing that. And what is the harm? Well, all religions have Judgment Day. But my teacher said, if you don't have judgmental mind, then you have Buddha realization, and infinite compassion can arise. If you have judgment, the concern for the well-being of others is harmed. But more importantly, you will not be able to access the essence of your mind, the natural state of openness, clarity, and being present. It stops that process. Now, I've given this teachings to individually and collectively many times. But to give you a point of how harmful it is, if somebody harms you or your family members or your property or the environment, your house, your yard, your car, where you work, you're going to have judgment, habit, and you're going to think that's normal. It is. But it's dangerous for meditators, us, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, because it stops you from entering into the Mahamudra state of consciousness where there is no judgment. A place where you're safe, liberated. A Buddha is a state of non-judgmental mind. If you don't get this, then all the meditation in the world is not going to take you to the realization of your natural mind and how to use it. And the only way it is appropriate to use it is with compassion for every sentient being, no matter how horrible they are, how unkind they are, how harmful they are, how nasty they are. And that includes animals, humans, and spirits. That's the pill that's hard to swallow of all the Buddha's teachings. All what we're doing is to peel the onion away with the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines and the assistance of the Lama deity and protectors until we get down to that point where we won't make judgment about anything in your thinking or any sentient being or about the world around us and how it's being, how it exists. Now we take refuge. Contemplate this one night and day, because it's the major obstacle to the highest realization of voidness and compassion arising together in the state we call Mahamudra, the great perfection, the middle path. And this thought that we start these practices with, that we're doing this to benefit all sentient beings, will be fully activated in non-judgmental mind and never activated with judgmental mind. In order to attain enlightenment for ourselves and limitless sentient beings, our mothers, we right now all together take refuge and offer prostrations and other skillful means of practice. Dag dong joa nam ke ta dong yam pe sam chem tam che du di ne jun te ji si jen chu ning po la chi ki bar du. Then we take refuge in the 6 sources of refuge in the Tibetan tradition, the 3 jewels, which are the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, and the 3 roots of Tantra, which are the Lama and the Lama's symbols of Sutra and Tantric practice. We go for refuge to all the glorious holy Lamas. That's 1. We go for refuge to all the yidams, the deities gathered in our mandala practices. That's 2. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas that have conquered the mind of judgment and gone beyond. Number 3. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma where there is no judgment. We go for refuge to all the noble Sangha that teach this. And we go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakinis who are the protectors and defenders of the Dharma. All of these 6 possess the eye of transcending awareness. Palden Lama Dampa Nam La Chapsu Chio Yedam Chokor Gilatso Nam La Chapsu Chio Sanjay Chom Dende Nam La Chapsu Chio Dampe Chur Nam La Chapsu Chio Kaupe Gendum Nam La Chapsu Chio Kawo Gandro Chokyo Sume Sho Yeshe Ki Shendong Dempa Nam La Chapsu Chio. And with this altruistic motivation and these 6 supports, we practice bodhicitta, bodhisattva mind with the 6th perfection. Through the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. The I, through merit, practicing these 6 bodhisattva disciplines called the 6 perfections, accomplish Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Sanjay Shodam Shoki Shodam La Jangchu Pardu Dagni Chapsuchi Dagi Jinso Jipe Sodamki Chola Penzer Sanjay Druparsho. The 6 perfections are practiced not only on the worldly level of the Hinayana path, the teachings of the Buddha, but also in the Mahayana path of states of higher intelligence, insight, generosity, morality with ethics and good manners, diligence or perseverance, number 3, meditative focus using the imagination, And these 5 take you into the wisdom nature of your mind, insight, and inside, in here, not up here, in here, so that you understand the essence of your mind and its non-judgmental nature, and apply that not only to yourself, but limitless sentient beings. You can think of all of them as once your mother, at one time in past life. Or you can think of them as children, because that's the way the humans on this planet are acting today, like children. 6 to 7 or 8 billion humans. And all the animals in the ocean, on the land, and all the spirits who were once humans. Infinite in number, filling the entire universe. They're in everything and everywhere. Without any judgment about any of that being good or bad, any of that being superior or inferior, and knowing why you're doing this. No ignorance, no delusion, no confusion, no bewilderment, no fear, no hope. Just stick to the practice. And have conviction that everything that you are doing with these means, a path of skillful means, tonight and on into the future, have infinite results, infinite good, appropriate, beneficial results. And day by day, month by month, year by year, you see that for yourself. There's no separation. If it's for everybody else, you're included. And your mind becomes like an empty mirror, which is all the tankas. If you look very closely to the deity down below, there's a little mirror. That means your mind is like a mirror. All this outer world with your body is bringing it all into you and reflecting it right back out. What do you keep? The essence, the heartfelt essence of being okay. And that's enough. That's good health. Abby just went like for you out there that have this sheet, this Dharma sheet, which I pass out by the 100. The back of this sheet has the 4 thoughts that turn the mind of Dharma, which is you have 15 prerequisites that allow you to connect to the Dharma and the teacher and do the practice. You have them. So you got to do the practice. Impermanence, number 2. You don't know the next breath of the next life, which comes first, so you got to practice now. Tomorrow might be too late. Number 3, karma. Everybody has karma. They come into this world with an infinite volume of negative and positive tendencies that they have generated in past lives. They bring it to this life. And they don't believe that. Most of the humans on this planet don't believe in karma. And number 4, we are all in a state of conditioned existence. And because of that, we can only generate conditional love. But if we understand that everything is constantly changing and that this is affecting our body, speech, and mind, and our spiritual generation of auspiciousness, then there can be no more tendency, negative tendencies. You will start to weed them out. You delete them. Your mind's a computer. It actually is an empty mirror. That's where this deity, Prajnaparamita, comes out of this empty mirror as the mother of perfect wisdom, unconditional love, altruistic compassion. Those two things is the mother of perfect wisdom. And all of the deities, all of the Buddhas, all of the Bodhisattvas, all of the protectors, all of these 1,000 aspects of this path of skillful means, she is the mother. And she shows that by having the sutra, heart sutra text in her left hand and a vajra or a mala in her right hand. This gets you going. This one keeps you going. But her two hands here are resting in meditative equipoise. Everything's okay. Om Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Soha. What does this mean? This is in the Heart Sutra. It simply means everything is empty. Everything is made of light throughout space. That's the nature of everything. The judgmental mind is exactly that. And it has to leave. It has to be deleted. And so when you say her mantra with her seed syllable, which is the seed syllable, so simple, space, okay, this Sanskrit seed syllable, space. When you say Om, you're bringing all the life support energy of the universe into your heart chakra, into your lungs, if you're breathing it, which we are. Gati means beyond the condition of the body. The second Gati means beyond the conditions of your speech. Paragati means beyond the conditional mind, the judgmental mind. Parasamgati Bodhisoha means beyond anything you can think of. She should be like this. Infinite okayness. Da-da. Om Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Soha. Om Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Soha. Om Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Soha. Once for your body, Gate. Once for your speech, Gate. Once for your mind, Gate. And once for whatever is beyond the limitations of those three and all their negative influence. What's beyond that? And all your positive influence. What's beyond that? What is realization? It's simply having conviction that what you're doing and the results are absolutely beneficial and your future looks good. This life, next life, future lives looks good. So we're going to move to the practice of the class tonight as what comes from the heart of Prajnaparamita is Chenrezig Vajrapani, but most importantly, the sword-wielding Manjushri, who was a living being in India, Mahasiddha, an actual human being. And his teaching was all based on the Heart Sutras, 400 stanzas of the Heart Sutra, about this thick a text. Hundreds of years ago. And it was so powerful that it completely reorganized that part of the world, that huge area today called India. And all the Himalayan tribes from Afghanistan to Bhutan, Kashmir, all of them, Nepal, Sikkim, Ladakh, on up in Tibet, Mongolia, Eastern China, and some parts of Russia. And the power of that is simply based on this sword he's raised in the right hand. It's cutting through your ignorance and your illusion that your judgmental mind causes, along with all the pain and suffering of the emotional conflicting thoughts that arise because of that trigger. In the left hand, he holds the stem of the Heart Sutra of loving kindness, on which an 8-petal lotus is blooming. And the text is resting on that lotus, that the only reason for this text is to do what that lotus symbolizes, come into the human condition and train humans. Why humans? Because we're the only ones that have the ability, innate in our consciousness, to do this. To understand form is emptiness and emptiness form is way too simple. And the judgmental mind does not exist. Your thoughts come out of space, present themselves with some kind of spatial program, just like your computer does, and disappears, just like on your computer. So the mind is no more than that. That's how we invented this thing called a computer, TV, cell phone. And fill it with useless babbling 24/7. And then we beam it everywhere to each other. Useless babbling, religiously, politically, socially, every way we can think of. Well, not tonight. And at least right now, with the mantra of this deity, Om Ara Pa Sa. Na Di Soha. And on the other side of Prajnaparamita's balm is the sound of D. Now, Sanskrit is a very unique language. The Buddha didn't invent it, it was already in place. It's called Pali. But the letters, the alphabet of it, are not just letters. There's the way it sounds is it activates a vibration. Each sound. Those vibrations, no matter what dialect you have, Tibet has 8 dialects, India had innumerable. It works. It does something. It's an energy program. And so the Buddha said, when you transmit these methods, these teachings, use the Sanskrit language to every culture or group on the planet. And then translate from that into their language so they get the vibration and the understanding. And so we've done that. We have done that. Where? Here. On planet Earth. Here in Hawaii. On every island. But this D is the vibration of light in Sanskrit sound. So now we can see and hear light at the same time. I've actually experienced this at concert. And out in nature with the vibrations of the sounds of nature, wind is lightning, and the jungles rustling, and the mountains. When I go into the mountains, I can hear the vibration of the earth. It sounds like a motor. That's how I got it. But everybody's different. We're all equal. You, me, everybody, equal. But we all have different tendencies. And so each and every one has to absorb these vibrations, these energy, according to their own aptitude, ability. And the lamas are trained. The men and women that teach this sutra and tantric methods are trained so that it's done gently. It's not rammed down your throat. This is not God's law. In fact, the gods better pay attention. And goddesses. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, T-S-A, Sa. Na, D, D-H-I. Soha is based on the sound of Sanskrit in India, Svaha. It simply means infinitely applicable, timeless, always increasing, but more importantly, always available. And it is the essence of the human consciousness. And it comes out in the female aspect of the human consciousness in a very special quality of wisdom called intuitive awareness. Now, of course, not all the women want to buy that or use it. But those that do are very, very special. And in a word in Tibetan, these wisdoms are Dakinis, is the Dakini of the mother of perfect wisdom in action in the human condition, because you have to bring humans into the world. You have to birth us. It's the only way we get on this planet. The only other way is birth by eggs or moisture and heat, or highest realization doing it from light. But this way is how us humans get here. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. So the first thing we do after we take refuge, altruistic motivation, 6 refuges said 2 or 3 times, Bodhisattva prayer, is sound the D. You might have a text. If you have a text, read the text. But the mantra that's most powerful is acknowledging that Manjushri is the reference or the child of Prajnaparamita. Om Hridi, Mipa Manjushri, Mum Hri, Prajnaparamita Sadhana, Hri Di Soha. That's a wrathful Manjushri mantra. And he's riding a leopard. And he's got this blazing sword and fire shooting out of his left hand, like this. No fool around, we say in Hawaii. Om Arapatsa Nadi Soha. Sitting on a 32-petal lotus, sun and moon seed, the symbol of taking birth in the human conditions as this powerful, compassionate, loving, kind, considerate being, dressed nakedly, but has 5 colors of silk and stockings, the 5 element, 5 jewel crowns stacked with 3 levels. That's the Dhyana Buddhas. As I said before, the lotus in Tantra taught. And a kata wrapped around his head of white silk, offering that auspicious symbol to Raja brothers and sisters, coming out of an infinite aspect of space and then surrounded by a sun. So this is the empty mirror, and this is the energy of that, blazing like the sun. In the Buddha field of infinite healing, that's this blue sphere, with the sun and moon in the sky. And he's shown in the sky, resting on clouds of the natural world, just as it is, the sky of your mind. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di, So, Ha. And when you say this mantra, you're collecting all of the teachings of all of the Bodhisattvas, teachers of India and Tibet and up to the present day into your practice. So we say the D 10 times. And since we're dealing with an infinite energy field of healing and an infinite mandala of sentient beings, the home of the medicine Buddha is the theme of this and any creative sound that the deities use, what we call the heart creation sound. 10 times. D, 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 body, speech, and mind. D, 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 4 times. Body, speech, and method. Body, speech, and mind together in the practice. And the results, 3 more D. D, D, D. The view of the Dharmakaya, the Sambhogakaya, and the Nirmanakaya of the teacher as all pervasive. This is our universe. And we are establishing it very simply for whoever wants to join us in the fun of playing it. Om, om, om. Om, 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 om. Om, om, om. Now, Manjushri sits in front of you as the Lama that is your most inspiring teacher, is a good word to put it, man or woman. Maybe I'm it, or maybe, hopefully, you have many others. And from that Lama's 3 places, white light comes into your forehead as the empowerment to be Manjushri or any deity. Red light comes into your throat to be use the vibration of the mantra to overcome judgmental mind and move into the non-judgmental state of your awareness. And then the red light that comes to your heart produces, and from the heart, a blue light coming to your heart of the wisdom transmission that takes you out of this dull drama awareness that everybody has and projects into a more intelligent state of awareness that is okay, clear, open, naked, pure awareness, bright, higher intelligence, and how to use that. And then use it. So with the deactivated and the 3 lights of the teacher coming into you, you see a white Om in your forehead, a red Ah in your throat, and a blue Om in your heart center. Then the white Om sphere moves down into the red sphere, down the central channel of your life force into the heart chakra. And these 3 together produce the vibration of infinite light in space, the D. Then you become Manjushri. Oh, wow. A fake rainbow body. It doesn't exist, it's in your imagination. But yes, it does exist because it does change your way of being into more loving, more kind, more considerate, more intelligent, insight, intuitive. And then you project out to your mother who created you to thank her, whether you liked her or not, or she threw you in a dumpster or whatever. As Manjushri. You're Manjushri, she's Manjushri. Facing. Then you project it to your father and all your relatives. Then you project it to all your lovers and friends. And pets. You have pets. farm animal. Then all the humans on the entire planet, 7-8 billion humans, Manjushri. Then you think of all the infinite animals in the ocean and on the land and in your body as Manjushri. This rainbow body enlightenment symbol of infinite compassion. You're entering into a dimension where there's no limits. There's no goal, there's no time. Those are not necessary. Then you apply it to the infinite energy of the spirit world, the heavenly realms, the middle realms of us humans, and the lower realms of the deprived spirits and hate-filled demonic spirits. All of this are called sentient beings. 6 different categories. Rotating. Emotionally conflicted. As Manjushri, then all that negative going, gone. Om Arabhasa Nadi Soha. 10 syllables circling in your heart. Om Arabhasa Nadi Soha. The 10th one is all of these 9 together, is the D in your heart center. The D in the mantra is so that you understand what you're doing. You're removing the non-judgmental nature of your awareness, which is stupid. Om Arapatsa Nadi So. When you can see all beings as your mandala, without any judgment of good or bad or superior or inferior, none of that. You're enlightened. You have realization. And it's okay. It's okay to die healthy. Go to the next slide. With no judgment in your mind. Then the next life is Bodhisattva training school to the max. All the lamas are going to be there. All the men and women from the time and before of Shakyamuni Buddha, all the men and women of all the teachers of Tibet, all the men and women of Bhaja brothers and sisters on the planet right now, especially the ones right watching this. All of us together. Om Arabhasa Nadi Soha. 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 Soha, Om Mara Nadi Soha. When you sound this mantra with that D in your heart, the mantra is the 9 letters are rotating clockwise around the D with the sound of your voice, like a rotating wheel of jewels. And the D in that wheel of blasting energy through your body and out in every direction, like the sun does our solar system. And everybody in your mandala, infinite sentient beings, are doing exactly the same thing you are. And in that situation, there's nothing else to do. Judgment can't arise. It's just okay. Om Mara Pancha Nadi Soha. 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 Om Pancha Nadi Soha. Om Mara Pancha Nadi Soha. Om Mara Pancha Nadi Soha. Om Mara Pancha Nadi Soha. Pancha Nadi Soha. Om Mara Pancha Nadi Soha. Om Mara Pancha Nadi Soha. Om Mara Pancha Nadi Soha. And the teacher that gave me this Manjushri teaching with the empowerment and with this teaching on non-judgmental mind was a 20-year-old Lama from Tibet that we brought to teach us the Mahamudra accumulation state of practice, along with this giving us the empowerment of Manjushri and the teaching on voidness and the teaching on non-judgmental training. Lama Dorje, young, speak good English, actually could speak several languages. 4 days of doing just this mantra and then practicing long periods of the accumulation of stage and practice. Called Mahamudra. We are repeating all of that right now. Applied to all the worldly situations, all the drama of the planet, all the climate crises, all of the diseases, virus, bacteria, fungus, whatever. To disappear into space. Om Mara Pancha Nadi Soha. 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 Om Mara Pancha Nadi Soha, Omara Patsa 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 Nadi Soha. Without the speech, without the sound of your voice, whisper the mantra and see it moving counterclockwise with the D in your heart exploding through your body, healing light going everywhere. Infinite sentient beings, all of them doing what you're doing. Practicing loving kindness, compassion, and insight with a powerful motivation to remove judgmental mind. Omara Patsa Nadi Soha, 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 Omara Patsa Nadi Soha. Whisper it. Omara Patsa Nadi Soha, Omara Patsa Nadi Soha, Omara Patsa Nadi Soha. Then no sound. Just visualize the mantra turning clockwise around the D in your heart, exploding light from those two sources through you as Manjushri and out in infinite direction. 84,000 Dharma doors opening. 84,000 nadis purifying through your physical form. Then whisper it. Then sound it. Omara Patsa Nadi Soha, Omara Patsa Nadi Soha, Omara Nadi Soha, Omara Patsa 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 Nadi Soha, Omara Pasa Nadi So, Omara Pasa Nadi So. Yes, it is very helpful to recite this mantra, counting 100,000 recitation with the visualization of all sentient beings as the deity and the energy of it coming from your heart, from the D and the mantra rotating, filling space with loving kindness for every sentient being, with concern for the well-being of every sentient being, for insight to the true nature of realizing your natural mind in every sentient being. And then having the knowledge of how to use that skillfully on all the various levels of human endeavor. To heal the body, speech, and mind of everyone. Then just say the mantra without the D. Without the Soha. Emphasizing the D. Om, R, Ra, Pa, Sa, Nam. 6 syllables. On 6 swords, Manjushri swords, laying flat, pointing in, 8 swords, laying flat, 2 of them pointing in each direction. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Nam, Di, So. And then 1 sword like this, standing with the Vajra handle, connecting the Vajra handles of those 6 swords. Om, Ar, Ra, Pa, Sa, Na, Di. The D on that sword, pointing to the sky of your mind, mirror-like wisdom. Om Ara Patsa Nadi, 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 Om Ara Patsa Nadi. This sword is standing with the D on the blade. Om Ara Patsa Nadi, Om Ara Patsa Nadi. That's your pure awareness, non-judgmental mind. The other 6 are generating that in the 6 realms of, we say, cyclic existence. Heavenly realm, war and war god, demigod realm, human and animal realm, deprived spirit and demonic spirit realms, all Manjushri realm. Om Ara Patsa Nadi, 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 Om Ara Patsa Nadi. So, Now these two skull cups change are the wrathful offerings of your body, speech, and mind to all of the deities, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas. That's the one on the left. And it holds clear substance called Amrita. This one is to all the sentient beings. This is the blood offering inside, painted red, to all the spirits. In every realm, because they're in the human condition too, they're in our bodies, they're in everything, they're here. And all those other realms where they take part. So when you touch your finger into that skull cup, this ring finger flicks in one direction to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Lamas, deities, protectors. That's the skull cup on the left. The skull cup on the right, the blood offering of your body as a gift to all these sentient beings, animals, humans, and spirits, wherever they exist. Wish that they all gain realization of their non-judgmental, natural state of awareness. Then we move into the accomplishment stage with just the D. In our heart chakra, encased in a 5-colored sphere of light of the 5 dhyana Buddhas and the 5 Dakini energies of earth, water, fire, air, and space. 5-colored sphere. The D is red in a white background, and outside of that, everything is blue, color of the sky. Now we move with the light energy through boundless space by sounding the D. D, 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 D. Think that this is pulsing. Like the infinite explosion of a black hole through space. Infinite energy as light everywhere. D, 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 When in the fulfillment stage of practice, allowing the thoughts to rise, appear, or disappear without judgment. These appearances are the unfailing dependent origination where emptiness and understanding are beyond any statement of arising or departing. As long as these two, the emptiness and the arising, seem to be separate, you have not realized the intention of Shakyamuni Buddha to understand your true nature. But when all at once through practice and without alternation, your conviction and your notion of an object fall apart, that is the moment of having the complete analysis of the view of Mahamudra. As nothing whatsoever. And at that moment, you will understand that everything arises from just that point of presence. So now, be present. And remaining in this accomplishment stage of meditation, but at the same time being the rainbow body of bliss and energy of Manjushri. Visualize above your head your Lama, your root guru, as the Buddha of infinite light, Amitabha, red in color, dressed in the robes of a Lama, sitting in full lotus, with hands in this mudra, right on top of left thumbs touching. Red in color, and with the vibratory sound of free, the nature of light, infinite light, as insight, an infinite energy field of healing in the heart chakra, and the D in your heart chakra. This Buddha Amitabha is holding a begging bowl of Amrita, the bliss energy of awareness of all the Buddhas. And it overflows down into the Uma channel towards the back of your head and fills your body in stages: head, throat, heart, navel, neck chakra, legs, feet, arms, hands. And as your body fills with this energy, it shoots from the D in your heart center when you're full as blissful joy and healing out to whoever you think could use some. Mother, father, relatives, friend, relative, larger brothers, sisters. Animals, pet. You decide. And then out to all the 6 realms, this blissful, joyful, infinite okayness, light energy, everywhere. Om Amitabha Deva Hari. Sound this mantra and think the bowl overfilling and into you, then you overflowing and the bliss energy out your heart to everyone. This is called the long life practice of Manjushri. Om Amitabha Deva Hari. Dewa is the Tibetan word for diva. It applies to every single bodhisattva and deity, peaceful or protector. Om Amitabha Deva Hari. 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 This is the nature of your non-judgmental mind. Om Amitabha Deva Hari. Om Amitabha Deva Hari. Om Amitabha Deva Hari. Infinite compassion is infinite light. Infinite loving kindness is infinite light in space. Om Amitabha Deva Hari. 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 Then Amitabha melts into light and moves down through the central channel and rests in your heart about the size of your thumbnail, with a tiny Hri in his heart and the D in your heart, merging together. Then you as Manjushri gather all sentient beings in your mandala and stream them into you from every direction. Implode your mandala into you as the central rainbow body of Manjushri, the central symbol. Then disappear your rainbow body into the mantra Om Ar Ra Pat Sa Na Di Soha. Then disappear those, starting with the Om, syllable by syllable, into the D. Then the D disappears into the Hri in the little Amitabha in your heart center. And then Amitabha becomes the nature of the sun's energy, pervading space with no boundary, no center, nothing to add, nothing to take away, just relax and be present. Non-judgmental mind starts by not judging your thoughts. And not judging the physical emanations of your body. Sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. And at the end of your session of sitting in peaceful awareness, open, clear, naked, and present, and bright, like your evolving states of more intelligent awareness. That's the bright, vivid, blazing like the sun. Then between sessions, formal sessions, as much as you can, be whatever Bodhisattva symbol your instruction feels appropriate for you. And purify sound by associating all sound without judgment as the sound of mantra. That's what mantra signifies. That's its power. And at all times, day and night, be kind to yourself. Extending this kindness constantly to others, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. With heartfelt, thoughtful awareness. Make prostrations. Purify with Vajrasattva. Offer infinite mandalas. Purified body, purified mind, purified speech. The Dharma is all pervasive. Honor, respect, awareness, support. With all beings, your children, filling space, you go to the Lama, perfect Buddha. Karmapachano, 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 Kalu Chano, Kalu Chano, Kalu Chano, Kalu Chano, Kalu Chano, Kalu Chano, Dalai Lama Chano, Dalai Lama Chano, Dalai Lama Chano.
Lamatashi Chano, Lamatashi Chano, Lamatashi Chano,
Lamatashi Chano, Lamatashi Chano, Lamarinchin Chano, Lamarinchin Chano, Chano, Lamatempa Chano, Lamatempa Chano, Lamatempa Chano, Lamatempa Chano, Lamatenzin Chano, Lamatenzin Chano, Lamatenzin Chano, May all our blessings go to you. May everyone be happy through and through. When you do the practice of Tonglen, it is the culmination of all deity yoga and all of the five dhyana Buddha family. And when you take in the outer world's pain and suffering in any form, individually, collectively, minute or extreme, you inhale that darkness as the pain and suffering of everyone into your heart center of loving kindness and disappear it into voidness, into space. It's all illusory. And the moment of its disappearance from your practice, white light comes with your exhale out to infinite sentient beings as infinite okayness. No matter their situation, no matter how harmful they are, no matter how much suffering they're enduring. Visualize individual, your mother, lover, friend, relative, pet, business associate, teacher. Inhale black light into your heart center. Disappear all that into space. Gone. Instantly white light from your practice. Loving kindness, compassion, power, insight, all of that. For them. For her, for him, for it. No matter what your situation, wherever you are, establish your practice with taking and sending, night and day. Go to sleep doing it, wake up doing it, leaving the body doing it, and the next life do it. There's no judgmental mind in Tonglen. Now we dedicate the merit. By the power of this truth, of the great compassion of the excellent objects of refuge, and by the power of this merit and of pure altruistic motivation, may I completely remove every misery of all living beings who fill the sky. By the virtues of this world and of nirvana, may the hopes and desires of all beings be fulfilled appropriately according to their wishes. May my own body, flesh, blood, skin, and so forth appropriately benefit all living beings. May the miseries of all my old mothers, all living beings, come upon me. May all my happiness and virtue be realized by them. For as long as I remain in this world, may there never arise for even an instant the thought of harming myself, others, or the environment. And for the sake of these living beings, may I energetically exert myself not slacking for even an instant. This prayer was written by my root Lama Kala Rinpoche. Dewa di nudu dam, chapya champo du gerne, jowa chinking malupa, ne sala go parsho, sanjay kusu dempai jamladam, shone megar dempai jamladam, kendu miche dumpai jamlaki, chitar gumwa nam dru parsho. May this virtue of having realized Mahamudra may quickly establish all beings without a single exception in that state. By the blessing of the three kayas of the Buddha being accomplished, by the blessing of the truth of this Dharma being unchanging, and by the blessing of the wishes of the Sangha being unwavering, may this dedication prayer be fulfilled. May all beings be happy, free of suffering, established in bliss and equanimity. May all the lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity, and may all their wishes be fulfilled. Aloha and tashi dele, and mahalo for all of your assistance in presenting this wonderful practice to our lovely Mother Earth and their living beings tonight.